Hey guys, we're still in Hal Leonard's book 3 and we're still working with the movable scales. They've shown us earlier on how we can take the F sharp Phrygian which would be an F sharp minor scale, and use that positioning as the third mode in the key of D. So D major is embedded within that Phrygian fingering. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. You actually knew this from book 2 when they taught us position 2 and I turned it into an F sharp Phrygian. They were teaching us how to play D in the second position, but if we filled it up we saw that the third mode, F sharp Phrygian, would give us the D notes. Just as when we learned all our natural notes in open position, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we were actually playing in the key of C. So using that same concept where the Phrygian shape can be used to house the major scale if we're starting on the third note of that major scale. In C we used an E Phrygian to sound like C. In D we could start on an F sharp Phrygian, but we were in the key of D. Now they're going to teach us the key of F. Because we've been playing around the fifth position and that's what they're trying to teach us, they're going to use the A scale in the key of F. The A is the third note, so A Phrygian will give us not only an A minor kind of key, but also the F major scale. We learned this concept years and years ago if you're following along one lesson at a time every week or so. But if we do our major scale, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, and start on F, we'll find that we have B flat notes. So the key signature of F has B flats. F to G is a whole step, G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, but in a major scale we want half there, whole, whole, half. So we flat the B, bring it closer to A, giving us the half step between 3 and 4. That also moves it further from C. B's and C's are a half step apart, so if we move B to B flat, it's a whole step from C. That gives us our whole, 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 and half at the end of the scale. So we can start on the A, and we can hear ourselves going half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half, whole step, half, which would be an A Phrygian sound. But if we find out that we're actually playing an F major, we have whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half from the F. So here then I've drawn at the fifth position the A Phrygian shape, which you would know actually just in dot form. You may not know every note in it. You would know I've got a half step here, half steps here with the pinkies, and so on. For me, that's just a physical alignment of notes. That gives me the A Phrygian shape. Then I can use that as a method of playing in the key of F. So I've highlighted your F roots here. You can see an F chord from this F to the A to the C to the next F. And your scale will focus around that F. So you can practice this shape, make sure you know all the notes in there. I also like to have that map handy when I'm teaching something like this. When I'm teaching fifth position, just like when we learned open position, I'd write out all the notes and have you learn a song like Ode to Joy and look E, E, F, G. And on my picture, there's open E, there's F and G. Same thing in the fifth position. Keep your map handy. Try to make sure you can visualize the notes. You're not just poking and picking around to hear them by ear and figure out where they are, although you do want to map that way as well. But I do want the visual. And then they give us a little song to use the key of F with, Sloop John B, which apparently, according to the book, is a Caribbean song. I haven't listened to it yet. I really should, because actually just doing these videos and checking out some of the Hal Leonard songs, I found out that they're actually quite a bit more fascinating and intriguing than I've had thought before. Nonetheless, we'll just play it as we're given it. We're starting on C, and that's going to be a 5th fret C on the 3rd string. It'll sound in pitch the same as your first position C, the first fret on the second string, but we're going to find that we have to get up high here. We're going to have to get to this high C, so we don't want to start in open position. We want to start at fifth. So we get our C's on the top string, the A. That's on this ledger line. We start with an eighth note, then a quarter. That's going to be on the and of beat 1, so we're playing syncopation here. 1 and. The quarter note occupies beat 2 as well, so we're playing on the and of 2. 1 and 3, 4. Those are all A's until the B flat. The B flat is 6th fret, 1 fret away from A. And back to the A. So that's from C to A. I'm not sure what song this reminds me of, but it has a bit of a Spanish country sound to me that I'm recognizing. At some point I may actually remember a tune. To save space, I didn't write this lick again as the book did. I used this repeat sign. You may recall if I put a slash through a bar with the 2 dots, that means play the previous bar. If you put 2 slashes and you put the bar line down the middle, then it means repeat the same 2 bars. So we'll play that twice then. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost the same lick here. I could have actually said to play a third time, except they throw one more eighth note at us. So on beat 3, they double that note, dividing it into eighth notes. So far we have C on a pickup note, beat 4, 1, 2, 3, then A. We're going to repeat that line. Almost the same. And there we have our high C at the 8th fret. I'm a position player, so I'm going to reach over with my pinky. You might want to go with your ring finger. I wanted to train my pinky from day 1 to play those frets. That was a great idea. It gave me the dexterity in the pinky, but it also made me a little handcuffed. I use the pinky probably too much, and I don't reach over with my strong ring finger when I should. You can practice both ways if you like. So now we're on the C quarter note, 2 eighth notes with a tie on the and of 2 to the beat 3, so we get syncopation there, the B flat, the A at the 5th fret, and then down to the G, which is 8th fret on the 2nd string. So that lick is starting on C. 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole note, 4 beats. I've really compressed my bar so I don't waste too much space. Tied to a G on the next bar, and then we're down to C that we would normally hear in the 1st fret, but we're going to put it on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, just as when we started. Syncopation again, 8th notes on 2 and tied to 3, so we're emphasizing the and of the 2. 2 and 3 and 4, 1. You can hear that scale running up to the F. We saw that in the bebop scale the other day, where we're playing in a minor key and threw these major notes in. In this case, we're in the major key, so it's not a bebop ending, but it's the same notes. Again, whole note tied into the next bar, so we hold that for 5 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and start on these Fs. Same syncopation again. 2 and 3 and 4, 1. Way up on that B flat. 6th fret. Holds for 6 beats, tied into the 2nd bar, and another B flat. Luckily, I'm going to show you the scan, because you're not going to be able to read my drawing there very well. Once we've hit that high B flat, we're back on the A's. 1, 2, and tied to beat 3. This time 3 is an 8th note, and on the and of 3 is that F, a dotted quarter, to fill in the last beat and a half. The and of 3 plus beat 4. So that's A, and then the F. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Quarter rest on 1, playing G's, that's our pinky again at the 8th fret. 2 and 3 and 4, leading tone. to the F note on the F chord. We have 3 beats only on that one because beat 4 was the pickup. So when we use the repeat sign, we get 3 beats here, and we do the pickup on the C at the next bar. Let's play the chords once here. I'd like you to hear the B flat minor, the 4 chord, turning into minor. We've talked about that before. How it resolves to the 1. It's the Beatles effect. I should go listen to it to find out what the Caribbean feel is going to be on this, but I'm just going to play the tune up at the 5th fret and get a sense of it as I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That little idea repeats. To the 1. So that is your chording, and let's go and hear the melody one more time all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4 minor. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, G, 2, 3, 4, 1. F, 2, 3, 4, 1. B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. I hope that'll be good enough, guys. Let's give her a listen and see how it goes. Thanks very much. See you later.